What's the video about today? What are we going to be telling people today?
We're going to learn about the cost of living in Oak Forest.
Cost of living. So if that's what you're here for, stick around. We're getting after it right now. Hey everybody, this is
Drew Mims.
And I am Kerry Fletcher, and together we're
Drew Kerry.
I know it's a bit of a dad joke, but still, it makes it easy to remember. Hey, this channel is all about
Houston living.
Houston living.
We're living in Houston.
Living in Houston. Houston living, the good, the bad, where do the where do all the cool kids go? Where's the places to avoid? What are the bad stuff, the good stuff? So if that's what you like, if that's what you want to know about, go ahead and
hit that subscribe button.
Ring that bell. That way you're notified every time we put out a new video. And look, let us know if you like what we're doing. Give us a thumbs up. Hit that like button. It really helps us get this information out to more people. And if you don't like it, or seriously, if you don't like it, tell us in the comments section. Say, yeah, I don't, Kerry, he's too cheesy or something. Just put it down in the comment section. We'll try to get better. Or if you have something that you'd like for us to research, if you have a topic that you want to know more about, let us know. We'll get to it. So, what's our favorite thing? What do we like to do?
We love to help people.
We love to help people, and we do it all the time. So look, if you or anybody you know is looking to move here to Houston, why don't you just have them give us a call, send us a text message, send us an email. Heck, if you want to, send us a note via...
You just hop on that Pony Express.
The Pony Express. Any which way you want to contact us, we've got your back when moving here to Houston. So let's get after it. Today we're going to be talking cost of living in Oak Forest.
Mm-hmm.
So we've done quite a few of these cost of living things. It's one of the things that most people want to know about. So there's going to be a lot of overlap, but if this is your first time, we're going to be covering some really cool things, and I think we're going to be covering the housing costs.
So the first part, we're really going to get in. We're going to give you a quick synopsis tell you a little bit about the Oak Forest neighborhood, and then we're going to talk home prices, and then we're just going to go over some general stats of cost of living. So
we're covering home prices first.
Yeah. Well, first we're going to. Do you not listen?
I don't. I'm looking into your big, beautiful blue eyes.
All right, so first we're going to talk a little bit about Oak Forest. In case you haven't watched our other video that tells you about the top 5 reasons to live in Oak Forest. Great video to follow up if you haven't seen it.
We'll put a link or something, however those guys do. That way you can click over and see it if you want to.
So Oak Forest is made up of roughly 5,500 homes. So it's a sizable neighborhood. It's located just outside the 610 loop on the north loop. So it borders the Heights if you go on the other side of 610, and it's next door to Garden Oak. So a lot of people think of that area as
what do they call it? Oak Forest, Garden Oaks, Oak Forest, Goaf?
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, Goaf. Some people start calling it Goaf.
Okay, so Oak Forest.
No riffing. There's no fact.
Because you just throw out some totally incorrect facts.
This is what makes your talent so great.
I'm from Houston. He's not, and he will riff and make up stuff. And
I do not make stuff up.
I'm here to tell you the truth.
I'm here to give you the perspective and the color. She's here to keep us on the straight and narrow.
Okay, so Oak Forest is friendly. It's a fun place to live. If you want to meet your neighbors and get out and take a walk, ride your bike, go for a run, take your dog out, the kids,
beautiful
to the
park there,
swim,
dog park, swimming, bike trails.
There's tons of, as we've discovered, local breweries and distilleries. There's even a wine
bar.
It's not a bar. It's a oh my gosh, I'm losing.
Wine bistro.
Decant Urban Winery. There's a winery.
Right next to Crowbar is the Decant. because right next to it is the Great Heights Brewing Company.
But there's also wine. There's also Planck Wine Bistro, which has good food and good wine. So if you like wine, if you like beer, if you like spirits, they've got you covered. Some great places. We won't get into all of that because we've covered that in another video. So we're just going to basically give you a quick lowdown. Oak Forest has remained popular and actually gotten even more popular in the last 5 years, 5 to 10 years. Because the schools are good, especially Oak Forest Elementary.
A-rated.
The neighborhood's location, it's such an easy commute. And you feel like you're in the suburbs and yet you're close in, and you can have those larger lots, which we're going to talk about what those lot sizes are, what that looks like.
I wouldn't say it feels like the suburbs. It feels like you're, you know, because you've got the really cool restaurants, really cool places to go. But you've got the big lots and the bigger homes.
I think that's what makes it feel suburban. So if you're from Houston and you've been to our suburbs, no, it does not look like our suburbs, because our suburbs tend to be on the newer side with newer construction. And while we have, and they tend to be very cookie cutter, right? You'll maybe have, some neighborhoods are all developed by one builder, or you'll go out into another neighborhood and there might be 4 to 6 builders. So you just, there's kind of the same look and feel. It's a very different feeling than in town where it's already been developed. They're very old neighborhoods. And so people are either going in and renovating older homes, or they're tearing down and building, you know, in some cases, McMansions. And they can do that because the lot sizes in Oak Forest allow for that. So that is what makes it desirable to a lot of people. You have that very much a residential feel, but you just have some fun places sprinkled in and around and on some of the major streets. So it makes it still convenient to have a good time. So the homes are, you know, again, close to schools, stores, restaurants, parks, lots of parks, and of course the White Oak Bayou. So that's another great aspect. You're also easy commute to downtown, Galleria. Also, you know, the schools are just a big, well, at least Oak Forest Elementary is a big draw for a lot of home buyers. So, okay, we're gonna get into actual cost of living. We're gonna talk about the
biggest cost, right? The one that everybody wants to know. We'll just give it to you up front, which is the home price, the home value, because that's the biggest variant.
Well, and if you're looking to move here, you know, you definitely want to get a feel. We're gonna, you know, put some video up for you to see what the neighborhood looks like and the general feel of it. And you can kind of judge for yourself whether, I think one of the things that makes it attractive is that it is affordable, being so close to town. And there really is the whole gamut, like your price ranges, you know, go from, if you want a tear down to, you know, probably the 300,000s on up to, you know, 1.5 million for a new large house that's probably like 4,800 square feet. For example, the average sales price in 2020 for a home was $551,000 roughly. The median sales price was $420,975. So we'll round up to 421. And then the max home price last year, we're just in January of 2021.
No, but what?
The max sales price, I know exactly what I'm saying, but thank you for attempting to correct me again.
Know, we get into these arguments all the time on the stuff.
I was being literal. I was literally talking about 2020 when the max home price, home sale in Oak Forest was $1,577,800.
And every time we go back and I do the research, she's always right. So I gotta learn that she's always good. So
you just need to sit there and look pretty. Sweetie.
Sit there and look pretty.
Okay, so the average price per square foot for 2020 was $241. So pretty good. The median $247 and the max was $462. So that kind of gives you a pretty good range there. There's like a $200 $220 spread basically between the average and the max price per square foot for the sold last year.
Yeah.
Then your average lot size is 7,456 square feet, which is very generous if you look at the heights, which the average lot size is 5,000. So that's a lot more yard. And you know, if you want to have a pool or really deck out your backyard or have a place to play ball.
Much larger than the neighborhood that's, I guess, closest to it over there, Shady Acres, Greater Heights. It's significantly larger.
Okay. So the 10-year median home value appreciation rate, drum roll, came in at 98.5%.
Wow.
Which is really substantial
Almost
in a 10-year period. I mean, there's not too many neighborhoods that have doubled in value in the last 10 years.
Right.
So from an investment standpoint, fantastic.
Yeah.
From a livability standpoint, fantastic.
Right.
So next we're gonna just get into some general categories of cost of living. Overall, it's 96.5% compared to the rest of the United States.
Yeah, that's Houston overall, right?
So very affordable if you're moving here from California, New York, New Jersey,
Colorado,
Chicago,
South Carolina.
So groceries, what do you think?
So groceries have a tendency to be right at that national average. We've got lots of good distribution. We're right here next to the port, but sometimes rent costs. So I would say just at or just above 100.
98.1. They're just under. Pretty good. Health.
Yeah, but some of the key grocery stores in that area.
True, in Oak Forest it's going to probably be a little bit higher. So it probably is level. It's probably at 100%. Although you've got...
Yeah, you've got the Whole Foods 360.
365.
Sorry. 365. You've got the Kroger that's right in the middle of it. You've got HEB. Aldi.
So if you've got a really good selection, you won't be stuck, you know, shopping at one grocery store.
Right.
So healthcare. We're in Houston, which is one of the best places to be.
Healthcare all across Houston is very affordable. It's like a 92-something%, and that's because of the Med Center.
Yep, 92.4%.
And it's super convenient,
world
super
class.
easy.
And the thing about Houston, of course, if you live in Oak Forest, you're very close to the Med Center. But even, you know, the major hospitals here all have these conglomerates that are, they have these satellite
you've got that
hospitals
you've got that memorial
private.
You've got that Memorial Hermann Hospital that's right there on Ella Boulevard as you transition from the Shady Acres, Greater Heights into Oak Forest. Right there.
You know, you're close to really great healthcare. I just was making the point before you interrupted me so sweetly again. You just can't stop talking. That they do have major medical complexes in every major suburb all over Houston. So whether that's the private practices like Methodist, Baylor, Memorial Hermann, St. Luke's. So healthcare is a good place to be if you have any health issues. You get into any kind of accidents.
But we weren't talking about all the suburbs and all the other areas. We're talking about Oak Forest, which there's a huge...
It was a sidebar. Okay, Smarty.
Okay.
Utilities.
Well, I know that, you know, Texas is a big oil producer, natural gas producer. I would assume that utilities are a little bit better than the average.
A little bit, 96.5% compared to the national average.
But, you know, what we always tell people coming here to Houston, or especially if they're out of state, because of the deregulation of the utilities, it can be very confusing.
It's easy. It's super, super easy. Some people will tell you it's difficult, but it's not. There's this great website called thepowertochoose.org. Log on. You can go in and pick through all of the different energy providers. So for electricity, not for natural gas, but for your electric. And you can literally go in and pick your price per kilowatt, and if it's a fixed rate, if it's adjustable, how long you want your contract to be, if you want your energy to come from renewable sources. We're not gonna get into a whole long thing on that, but it's fantastic. Powertochoose.org.
But if you weren't from here, or if you didn't know that little inside, it could be very difficult because you're inundated with commercials.
It puts it up like a spreadsheet, and it's really easy to read. And I mean, it can seem daunting, but it's really not. And if you have questions on that, we can tell you who we use and how we picked, why we picked. Happy to help you out with that. So, transportation.
Transportation costs here in Houston have a tendency to be a little bit higher than the national average, even though we have gas prices are cheap, way cheap in comparison to especially the other states like California.
But insurance rates tend to be
insurance
higher.
rates have a tendency to be higher.
And then there's a lot of traffic, and when you have a lot of traffic and a lot of people driving,
well, what's the actual number?
Accidents.
What's the actual number?
It's 119.
119.
So
okay.
19% above the national average. But most other major cities have public transportation, which we have some, but most people are driving.
And also, a lot of people who don't live in Houston don't realize how large Houston is. I mean, and how many miles you have to drive to get from like here to Katy, or here to the Woodlands, or here to Baytown. So you can cover a
very
long spread out. So transportation costs can be pretty high because people have long
now, if you're
commutes.
If you have a long commute.
If you have a long commute.
If you're living in Oak Forest and you're working at the Galleria or downtown, or even if you're working out in the energy corridor, your commute is not going to be bad.
That's true.
It's not going to be bad. So he's talking about people who live way out in the suburbs and are driving in and out of town every day. So that's not a scenario we're talking about today. That's for another day.
Exactly.
Keep you on topic. So miscellaneous things, it's like 100.4%. So very comparable to the national average. So,
okay. And I was going to say, if you stuck around this long and you've put up with all this banter and this fun, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and give us that thumbs up. We appreciate it. It really helps get this information out to other people. It means a lot. So
makes us feel good. It does.
And speaking of feeling good, what do we love doing?
We love helping people.
And
a lot.
A lot. And we do it all the time. So look, don't hesitate. If you're thinking about moving here, if you're thinking about, if you know friends or family that are thinking about moving here.
If you have questions about moving here, just give us a call. We're happy to help answer any questions, anything you can think of. We've pretty much heard it all. So give us a call, hit that.
Send a text message, send us an email, or send us
you write in on it, tell them.
Send us a note via Pony Express. Any which way, we've got your back when moving here to Houston. Thank you for sticking around.
See you next time.